What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of this Kith and New Balance 1700 for the Kith Toronto Grand Opening in this Marshmallow colorway. So this shoe is the second colorway of two New Balance 1700s that released to celebrate the opening of Kith Toronto. So Kith Toronto is the very first Kith location which has opened up here in my home country of Canada. And to celebrate, they collaborated with New Balance to release two Canadian themed colorways of the New Balance 1700. So this is the Marshmallow colorway, which released alongside the Rococo Red pair, which I've already reviewed on my channel a couple days back. So this pair released on September 25th, and they were available at all Kith locations along with online and on Kith's mobile app. And they retailed for a price of 180 US dollars, and they were 245 Canadian dollars in the store, but they were 240 Canadian dollars online. And the style code for this shoe is CM1700KM. So if you guys already watched my Rococo Red review, for the most part this review is going to be pretty much identical. So feel free to skip this video if you already watched that one. But for everyone else that's sticking around, much love and much appreciated. So this pair, just like the other one, is made in Asia. Specifically, it's made in Vietnam. And this is different than any other New Balance 1700 that I own. All of my previous pairs, they were made in the USA. So with that said, diving right into it, you'll see that the majority of the upper of this shoe, this is constructed out of pig suede, and in real life this is like a really light gray. Right above this towards the laces we have this red colored nubuck, and then we have this small layer of this reflective silver 3M which is peeping through the medial edge. Surrounding the front toe cap, we have more pig suede, and one of the biggest issues I had with the Rococo Red pair is the exact same issue I have with this pair, which is this toe box. So the shape of this toe box is extremely bulky and has this very squared off look to it. And when you compare this to my Kith New Balance 1700 from the Colorist pack, that pair was made in the US, and you can see how sleek and tapered the toe box look, especially when you compare it to the toe box on this one. Anyways, we'll get into more detail about that later on. Moving on with the shoe, you'll see we have more layers of suede on the sides of the toe box, and then we have more of that red colored nubuck next to this. Overlaid on the mid panel, we have this large suede panel, and we have the New Balance N logo embroidered in a mix of white and red. And then beneath this we have more of that red nubuck, and then we have a white colored reflective 3M panel which is visible here on both sides of the sneaker. The very top two eyelets, this is covered in this white colored TPU, and it's surrounded by more of that red colored nubuck. Surrounding the top portion of the ankle collar area, we have more of that same very light gray colored suede, and this also covers the heel of the sneaker, but on the lateral side pressed in, we have 1700 branding. In the middle of the heel, we have this cutout revealing the silver reflective 3M panel with Kith branding embroidered across, and above this we have the New Balance word mark, and this is embroidered also in red. As far as the laces go, so these come with three different lace options. The standard default lace and the one that it comes with is a flat style red lace, but they also come with two extra lace options. If you want to give the shoe a little bit more contrast, they give you a crispy white colored flat lace, and they also come with a cream colored flat lace if you want to match the color of the midsole. And to me, I think all three color options are really nice, so you really can't go wrong with any one. Underneath this, the bottom half of the tongue, this is covered in suede, and then the top of the tongue, this is covered in red nubuck, and we have 1700 and New Balance embroidered across in white. So the back of the tongue and the interior of the shoe, this is covered in this red colored fabric, and the collar of the shoe feels pretty thin. There is some padding to it, but it's not overly stuffed. As far as the insoles go, so these come with your typical foamed line insole. It's lined in white on the top, and we have New Balance and Kith co-branding pressed onto the heel in red. So the upper of the New Balance 1700, it sits atop this chunky foam midsole, which is painted entirely in this cream color. Incorporated within the foam, we have New Balance's Absorb foam technology, and the Absorb is visible with these protrusions on the lateral forefoot, along with wrapping around the back of the shoe as well. And then finally, turning this pair over to the bottom, so unlike the Rococo Red pair which came with a black colored outsole, for this Marshmallow pair, it comes with a red rubber and gum rubber outsole instead. So this to me has much more of a maple syrupy Canada vibe to it, which I thought was a nice change. And visible on the heel, we have New Balance and Absorb branding. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this pair. And in terms of sizing, for anyone wondering, these fit exactly the same to me as the Rococo Red pair. So for both pairs, because these were made in Vietnam and not made in USA, I felt like they ran noticeably more snug. So normally for those made in USA 1700s, I go a half size down to a size 9.5, which is the same size I wear in other New Balance made in USA silhouettes like the 992, 993, and the 990 V3, V4, V5, and V6. So for this pair, I got these in a size 10, and they fit me well given my feet are a little bit wider. So for most people out there, I feel like you can stick true to size for this shoe and you should be okay. If, however, you have a really narrow foot and you like a really snug one-to-one fit, I feel like you could go a half size down or your normal made in USA size. But again, to be safe, and especially if you don't like more of a snug fitting shoe, then just go true to size and you should be okay. So I got these in a size 10, and just to give you guys another point of comparison, I also wear a size 10 or true to size in other New Balance silhouettes like the 991, 1500, 1530, and a lot of other made in Asia New Balances like the 2002R, 1906R, and 860 V2. Moving on to the comfort, so the 1700 is decently comfortable, but it's more on the firmer and stiffer side. If you're looking for a shoe that has an extremely plush and pillowy feel, this is definitely not the silhouette for you. Instead, it feels a lot more stable, it's a little bit more on the heavier side as well, and while you can feel a little bit of that softness and the step-in comfort, generally speaking, again, I feel like it gives your foot a lot more stability as opposed to a very soft, pillowy feel. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, so first off, material quality I thought was really good, just like the Rococo Red pair. So both pairs utilize pig suede, and I don't know if this is just a variation in terms of the factory, but I thought that the suede on my Marshmallow pair, it felt a little bit more flat. It didn't have as shaggy of a feel compared to the Rococo Red pair, but I thought the quality of the materials was solid nonetheless. And in terms of the build and the craftsmanship, I thought overall the shoe was pretty well built. There were some minor issues with some loose threads I had to trim off myself, and of course this very clunky squared off toe box. But I feel like every single pair in this release had the same issue with the toe box. So it wasn't a perfect release, but toe box aside, I thought the build of the shoe was pretty solid. So with all that out of the way now, let me toss these on feet. I'll lace them up for you and I'll show you guys how these look. So just like the Rococo Red pair, this Marshmallow New Balance 1700 has a very Canadian feel to it, which is what Kith was going for. Obviously, with this not being just a solid red upper, it's going to be probably the easiest shoe to pull off, so I can see why people prefer this Marshmallow colorway over the all red pair. But for my personal opinion, I prefer the Rococo Reds. I just think it's a lot more striking, it just has more of that wow and pop factor. Whereas this one, it looks good, but it doesn't really catch my eye in the same way that the Rococo Red pair does. So like I just said, this is probably the colorway that I might wear more, given that it's just more versatile, but if I had to choose only one pair, this one would have to go. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Kith and New Balance 1700 in this Marshmallow colorway? Between this and the Rococo Red, which of the two do you guys prefer? So drop your comments down below and let me hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. You can follow me on Instagram at esco8, check out my X or Twitter account at sean.go spelled out, and visit my website at seango.ca. So thank you everyone for watching, hopefully you guys enjoy this review, and hopefully it helped you in some way, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one.